There are only 3 things that create genuine attraction in relationships, but most people miss them completely. After analyzing 100 couples, I found the exact psychological patterns that separate deep, authentic connections from surface-level attraction. I've spent years studying relationships as a professional coach and matchmaker, connecting dozens of couples and dating hundreds of women myself. This research helped me grow to 6 figures in business and find the love of my life. Here's how we're gonna break this down. First, I'll reveal the trifecta of attraction that creates magnetic energy. Then, I'll show you how to develop each element within yourself. Finally, I'll give you practical exercises to implement today. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to create authentic attraction that leads to meaningful, lasting relationships. What you really want isn't just a woman's attention or validation. What you really want is genuine connection. This is why authenticity is the backbone of building any lasting relationship. The goal isn't just to get a date or find a partner. The goal is to create a fulfilling relationship with someone you can actually share your life with. Here's the trifecta of attraction that I've discovered after working with over 50 clients. Confidence, authenticity, trust. I call it the CAT framework, obviously. And when you align these 3 core elements, you'll attract women who resonate with who you truly are. Let's break it down. C is for confidence. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It's the ability to show up as the real you without fear or self-doubt. It's knowing your worth, owning your flaws, and standing firm in your values. I remember when I was in my 20s, I would constantly second guess myself on dates. I'd overthink every text and every conversation, always just trying to be what I thought women wanted. It was exhausting. And worse, it never actually worked. Then I had a breakthrough when my mentor told me something that I'll never forget. He said, "Kevin, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with your imperfections." That changed everything for me. I stopped trying to hide parts of myself and I started embracing who I actually was, including my flaws, my past struggles with addiction, and my spiritual journey to become a better person. Here's what confident communication looks like. 1, you speak with conviction. No second guessing yourself, seeking approval, or looking for validation. 2, you set boundaries. You know what you will and you won't tolerate in a relationship, and you don't let people cross lines. 3, you lead with authenticity. You express yourself fully without pretending to be someone you're not. Women are drawn to confident men because they feel safe and respected. Confidence signals that you are emotionally mature and capable of building a strong relationship. A is for authenticity. Authenticity is about being real, showing up exactly as you are without playing games or putting on a mask. It's about embracing your true self, your mistakes, your passions, your struggles, and your dreams. I had a client named Nick who was successful in business but struggling in relationships. He kept attracting women who would seem interested at first but then would eventually pull away. When we dug deeper, we discovered that he was presenting a polished, perfect version of himself, hiding his creative side, his love for weird music, and his childhood struggles. Honestly, he was just a really nerdy dude, and he was afraid to let women see it. This is textbook avoidant behavior used to justify rejection. The idea is, if I don't let my partner see the real me, then the real me can't get hurt. But what actually happens is your partner walks away because she's like, yeah, he was cool, but I feel like I didn't really know him. If you've ever heard a woman say, "I just don't feel a spark," or "I don't know if we have a future together," it's because you didn't show her who you really were, or what a future with you would actually be like. Once Nick started showing up authentically, sharing his real interests, being vulnerable about his past, and expressing his genuine thoughts, everything changed. Within 3 months, he met a woman who loved him for exactly who he was, not who he was pretending to be. Because being authentic doesn't just attract women, it actually builds trust. When you're real with her, she can feel it. She'll know that she doesn't have to pretend or impress. And this creates a safe space for both of you to connect. Here's how you can show up authentically. 1, be vulnerable. Share your thoughts, feelings, and experiences without fear of judgment. 2, be honest. Don't hide your true intentions. Be clear about what you actually want and where you're headed in life. 3, be consistent. Make sure that your actions match your words and you actually show up as the man who you say you are. When you lead with authenticity, you not only attract the right women, but you also create the foundation for trust and emotional intimacy. T is for trust. Trust is about creating a bond that goes deeper than physical attraction. It's about understanding and being understood mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When you're confident and authentic, trust becomes effortless. The emotional intimacy you've built allows for deeper conversations, shared experiences, and mutual understanding. I remember working with a couple who came to me on the brink of separation. They had mad chemistry, but zero trust. He was avoidant and scared scared to fully open up about his fears, and she was anxious, constantly questioning his commitment. So we focused on rebuilding trust through consistent actions, not just words. 6 months later, they told me that their relationship had completely transformed. They felt secure with each other for the first time, and that security allowed their love to deepen in ways that they never thought possible. So, what are these actions that create trust? 1. Listen empathetically. Show genuine interest in her thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Really put yourself in her shoes and imagine what it would be like to be her. 2. Share your world. Be open about your life, passions, and vulnerabilities. Let her know who you really are. 3. Be present. Focus on her, be in the moment, and avoid distractions. Not dwelling on the past, not planning out the future. Right here, right now. The foundation for confidence, authenticity, and trust is self-awareness. You can't show up as your best self if you don't know who you are and what you stand for. Cultivating these 3 qualities starts with self-knowledge and a commitment to growth. Here are the 3 keys for instilling confidence, authenticity, and trust into yourself and your relationships. 1. Follow through on the promises you make to yourself. The cornerstone of confidence is integrity, the ability to honor your word. When you make a commitment to yourself, whether it's about hitting the gym, learning a new skill, or setting emotional boundaries, you must follow through. I used to be terrible at this. I'd set goals or make plans and then completely abandon them at the first sign of difficulty. But this pattern destroyed my trust in myself, and it made it impossible to truly feel confident. But everything changed when I started treating promises to myself as seriously as I treated promises to others. I began with small commitments, meditating for 10 minutes daily, reading for 20 minutes before bed, getting my 10,000 steps in. But as I consistently honored these small commitments, my self-trust grew, and with it, so did my confidence. I started showing up differently in relationships, more certain, more grounded, more present. Confidence isn't built by doing big things once in a while. It's built by consistently doing what you say you're going to do. 2. Reflect and practice self-forgiveness. Self-acceptance and self-love are critical to building authenticity. To truly embrace who you are, flaws, mistakes, and all, you need to reflect on your past and release any shame or guilt. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools you have for this process. And I know it can feel strange at first, but journaling is really just having a deep conversation with yourself. When I started journaling regularly, I was shocked about how many limiting beliefs I carried about relationships. Shit like, I'm not good enough for a quality woman, I've made too many mistakes to deserve love, or my parents split up, so I'm doomed to die alone. I had all of these unconscious patterns that were sabotaging my relationships without me even realizing it. By putting my thoughts and emotions on paper, I could see these patterns clearly and start to change them. I could process past failures, forgive myself for mistakes, and set intentions for who I wanted to be moving forward. You can practice self-forgiveness by reflecting on past mistakes without judgment. Understand that your past doesn't define you. What really matters is what you do now. Forgive yourself for the things you wish you'd done differently and celebrate your growth. The more you practice self-acceptance, the more you create space for self-love. And when you really love yourself, that energy is reflected externally. You begin to show up as someone worthy of love and capable of creating deep, meaningful relationships. 3. Become a safe person by regulating your nervous system. Authenticity and trust are not just about how you communicate with others or how well you understand yourself. They're also about creating an energetic environment of safety. For a relationship to thrive, both partners need to feel emotionally safe. This means that you need to be a safe person, someone who stays calm, grounded, and emotionally regulated, even during stressful situations. One of the most effective ways to become emotionally regulated is through meditation. Meditation helps you manage your emotions by normalizing stillness in a world full of stress. I've seen this transformation in my own life. Before I started meditating, I was super reactive and easily triggered. Small disagreements would escalate into big fights or week-long benders because I couldn't regulate my own emotions. But after developing a consistent meditation practice, I noticed a profound shift. I could stay present during difficult conversations. I could listen without immediately reacting. I could hold space for my partner's emotions without getting overwhelmed by my own. When you're able to stay centered and calm in your own body, you create space for your partner to open up. A lot of men think, oh yeah, I don't yell at my girlfriend and I don't hit her, so I must be emotionally stable. But being a safe person is about more than just the harmful things that you don't do. It's about cultivating a sense of peace and creating an atmosphere of emotional safety where both of you can express yourselves without fear of judgment or rejection. Let's recap. recap what we've learned about creating authentic attraction. The trifecta of attraction is confidence, authenticity, and trust. These three elements create the foundation for meaningful relationships. Confidence comes from following through on the promises to yourself and making sure that your actions match your words. Authenticity is developed through self-reflection, meditation, and practicing forgiveness. Trust is developed through emotional regulation and creating a safe space for expression. As Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. When you embody confidence, authenticity, and trust, you create feelings that women never forget. If you're ready to break your old patterns and create healthy relationships, take my free Relationship Archetype quiz by clicking the link in the description. This quiz will help you identify your emotional patterns, understand how you relate to others, and give you personalized insights to transform your relationships from the inside out. Don't wait to find the love that you deserve. Take the first step by taking the quiz today. Your future partner will thank you.